Hi everyone, this is just something that I've been working on. I started following a group on Facebook called Sketchbook School. One day I hope to do one of their courses, but Sketchbook School has prompts. So this is my little book that I started in September, and I have managed to fill the whole sketchbook. It's a Hahnemuhle, I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not the best at that sort of thing, but yes, I will just make my way through. I started 15th of September and the prompt was mess, and that's this page. Then the next day was second, so second coffee and sharing. So this is sharing the bed. Bag. And sister, I think, was the prompt for this one. So this one I've written famous sisters. It's just done in pencil. The one on the left I think is sky. I can't actually, or clouds, I can't actually remember some of them. Multiple is this page on the right with the pencils. Then we have sandwich, so I've done the making of a sandwich. Then the following page is fall, and at that time we were coming into our spring. So fall on the northern side of the planet and spring on the southern. Lucky was that day's prompt. I'd found some money, so I was feeling lucky. Plastic was this day's prompt, so I have a plastic paint palette that I use on occasion with watercolours in. Turn, so I thought, my steering wheel on my car, that's how I turn. Then the other one, next day's prompt was sound. I couldn't think of anything, only always remembered Woodstock always made music sounds, and that's how he was depicted in the cartoons. Soft was that day's prompt, so marshmallows are very soft. And there was bicycle, so I've drawn bicycle. This day's prompt is inspiration, so I saw see plus hear plus emotion plus hands equals inspiration. So you hear, you see something, you hear it, you feel it, and then you can draw it for inspiration. Trying to be patient. Patient is the prompt, self-explanatory. I think this one was chain. Some of my drawings are better than others, but that's to be expected. And this one is night, so I've drawn a moon over our volcano that's out in our harbour in Auckland, New Zealand. The prompt is workout, so that's my workout shoes. They're what I go running in. This one I think is mini, so I have a little collection of mini clocks, and so I drew those. Antsy, I couldn't figure out what to draw for Antsy, so I just used like a dictionary. Quite often I'll Google things. I think this one is toothbrush, so there's my electric toothbrush. This one's not so good. A dream is the prompt, and then this one is explanation. I've drawn encyclopedia that we had as children. This one is far. I tried to give the concept of distance and up close. And this one is right. So I always use that hand thing to figure out what one's your left hand and If you don't make the shape of L, that must mean it's the right hand side. Then this one was cold. I did a picture of my son and myself eating ice cream. And this one was daughter, so I did a picture of my mother and me. Not the best, but still, it's done is done. This one is shake, so shaking up my fingernail polish. And this one was grotesque. Cats had brought in a nice rat for us to eat, I suppose. So that's pretty grotesque. Telephone was this one, so I did the public telephone box down one of our streets in Papakura. And this one is their big, I think it's big. So I've done the window out in the front of our house. This one was spoon, so I did a selection of spoons and pencil. And then this one was tea, and we have a funny, well, we call our evening meal tea. A lot of people get confused when they come to this country because they're getting invited for tea, and they think, well, why do I want to go to your house for a cup of tea when actually we are inviting them to our house for dinner? So that's quite funny. Okay, exercise was this one. So I have written art is exercise for the brain. So that was that one. Fence is this one. Lots of different fences. Some of these are, well, a lot of them are taken from photos. School was this one. I take my cell phone with me and take photos of everything. Then there's my car keys, and also my house key, my car key, my house key, my work key, and my pocket knife. This one is scene, so I was sitting in the car when my husband was driving and I took a photo, so I've drawn that. Switch is this one. This is my light. Egg was this one, so I've drawn 4 eggs. And fit was this one, so I couldn't figure out what fit was, so I drew some ladies at work have one of those Fitbits. This one was light, so I've drawn my light on, tried to give that idea of light. Regret is this one. As I say, I will regret it if I don't draw, which is true. Curious, this is my cat when she was a kitten in the cupboard. Not the best drawing, but never mind. This one is sad, so I just did a sad look. Often, I think this one was, so I've just tried to draw giggle enough often. This one was spooky because I think it was Halloween. So some of them are just made up from my imagination and some aren't. Morning, so that's me preparing my breakfast and my lunch. Fork was this one, so that's my garden fork. And this one was people, so I quickly tried to take a photo of a whole lot of people in a restaurant. That's a bit embarrassing, but still. It was very blurry because I was doing it in a rush. And this one is money, so it's a whole lot, some notes and some coins. This one is finger, so I've done some pointing fingers, and this is supposed to be a self-portrait, but nobody says it looks like me because I think I made her look far too pretty. Anyway, this one's courageous. This one was locks, so selection of locks. This one is upsetting, and as it says, trying to draw something and not getting it how you want it is upsetting, which is very true. Then uplifting, it's because on Sketchbook School we post our pictures, nobody else can see them, only other members of the Sketchbook School, and it's quite nice when people give you a thumbs up, so that is uplifting. This one is critic, or was it inner, I can't remember actually, it was either inner critic or inner demon. but either, you get the idea. Evening was this one, so this was a picture from when we were away in Tahiti, and then this one was sticky items. So I've just put together a selection of bits and pieces and drew those. Folds was this prompt, and that's supposed to mean my couch with, we fold the clothes and put them on it. It's not one of the greatest drawings. This one is core, so I've done a whole lot. I've got all my apple cores and pear cores in a pattern, something different. Can, so I've got a selection of can openers and a opened can. Activity, this one's basically that washing is a dry day activity, so that's all my washing out on the clothesline. How exciting is that? And then this one was like a double, because I could tell they were coming up, was up and down, so I've basically done 2-page spread. The sun comes up in the east, no matter where you live, it never changes, and it always goes down in the west. So I quite like that, those 2 pages, and I really like these two. It's how to make something boring like a lemon look far more interesting. So interior, so it's the inside of my lemon, and exterior. I like that page, those 2 pages. Seeds, was it seeds? No, pumpkin. Pumpkin was the prompt for this one, and I didn't have a pumpkin, so I just drew the seeds and the packets they go in. Scissors, I have a selection of scissors, sewing scissors, embroidery scissors, and just everyday scissors. Above, so I just did a bee above, some make imaginary tree line, and then this one was thankful, so I'm thankful that the sun comes up every day. Family, this one's dreadful, but still. And sparkle, this one sort of went through various phases of looking good and looking terrible, but in the end I quite like it. It's not so easy doing these sort of pictures. Dangerous, this one's self-explanatory. A packet of fudge is dangerous for your diet, and this one is wind, so just a made up one being blown around by the wind. Cherries, I love cherries. Every year I try to eat at least 10 kilos of them because I think they're wonderful. So dessert was the prompt, and yes, I would eat cherries for dessert. What was this one? Steam, I think. So I've just drawn with a black ballpoint pen, a steam train. Equipment, this is all the bits and pieces that I use and in drawing. And then this one was cake, so I drew a cupcake, and I also put the recipe on and used some of my stamps just to give it a bit of interest. Drawer, as in a set of drawers, I think, I'm not sure, so that's why, or drawer, yeah, it's a funny word, isn't it? I draw the drawer and I paint the drawer too. This one was tree. This is the tree, a tree I run past every week. I just love the shape of it. I haven't done it justice. One day I will. Left, I think, was the prompt for this one. So I've drawn my left foot. So no, I do not have 3 legs. Floating was this one. So I tried to give that idea of like dandelion, floaty, fairy things. Stripes, I've drawn a pedestrian crossing. There's lots of stripes on that. And this one was star, I think. The star of the day. My first cup of tea is my favourite routine. So my cup of tea. And this one was container. So I thought I'll draw my apple tree that did have apples on until we had a strong wind and they all blew off. This one is weather. I quite like this cute little one. And bridge is the prompt for this one. This is a bridge near our house, near in Tuakau, I think, somewhere around there. And plate. So I drew a couple of my vintage plates that I have. This one is drink. So every night I have sparkling mineral water with a slice of lemon or lime, or sometimes I throw grapes, whatever in it, or strawberries. This one is sun. So these are my two babies that are growing up now. But yeah, this one was mirror. So I drew my little lipstick mirror box that I have. And I think this one was night, so I had to play around. Didn't turn out as well as I had liked, but never mind. And this is my other favourite page. This is tiny and this was gigantic. So quite often it's been quite a bit of time thinking about what I'm going to paint. So tiny krill, a food for a gigantic blue whale. So I really like that page. This one is noisy. I used one of those pencils that have got 3 colours or 4 colours in them. And the prompt for this one was merge. So we have signs in New Zealand. When you go on a motorway, you're supposed to merge like a zip, which is funny. This is a terrible one, but never mind. It's supposed to be winter. But there's supposed to be a picture of I tried to draw my husband while he was busy playing his PlayStation, and he's in just shorts and a t-shirt because it's summer here, and that was in December. So this was a Christmas present to myself. The prompt was book, so I drew the book that I haven't read yet, but I will. This one was sky, so I drew a picture that my friend took of the sunset, and the sky was awesome. Crooked, so these was just some, when I'm out and about running and walking, I take photos. Some letterboxes that are crooked. And I think this prompt was holiday, and during my Christmas holidays I quite often sew because it's very hot. We have summer in Christmas and it's quite hot, and I don't want to be in the garden, so I'll come in and do some sewing. This one was spoon again, so I just did some spoons with the unusual background just to add a bit of interest. And this one was secret, so we got mountains of chocolate for Christmas, and so I took a photo of that. This one was gloves, so I took a photo of my gloves and my garden hat and drew that. Then this one was slow, and this is fast, so trying to draw some cars. And this was the last day of December, something clean and simple, which I'd like to try and do again because I quite like how that one turned out, the simplicity of it. And this was resolutions. And I just did some mushrooms on the side for a bit of interest. The prompt for this was breakfast, so that was my toast with some lovely honey and a cup of tea. And limbo, I didn't know what limbo was until I looked it up in the dictionary. Apparently it is waiting for the gates of hell. So that's what I tried to draw. And this one was a raise, so I thought I'd seen a couple of things people had drawn where they'd pussycats, so I basically just coloured in the whole page with pencil, 8B, and then erased it with one of those skinny little rubber things. This one was fairy, and so I took a picture of my friend's cat sitting on a lime green cushion and drew her. Her name is Pookie. And then this one was heaven, so I took a photo of the gates to our local cemetery because I thought, well, that's the gateway to heaven for some people. I didn't want to talk about those that went the other way. Then there was lopsided, and so this doggy had lopsided ears, and he was also sitting on a lean, so I thought he'd come up quite cute. And I was Cookie, so I tried to draw a packet of biscuits, and then this one was wool, so I drew my woolen socks. They were clean. Perplexed is a disaster, so we'll move on for that one. Then I think it was spoon again. So, yes, can't eat my porridge without my spoon, so that's that one. And it's my cat lying down, so he makes me happy, and that's what the prompt was. See, more chocolate mix was the prompt, so that's some chocolates. Then I think hand was the prompt, so my hand is very handy for drawing, it certainly is. And fresh was the prompt, so I picked a couple of gardenias and did a quick little sketch of that. And then this one is sing. So the tuis are done in coloured pencils. The tuis click and make funny noises. Wonderful birds. And paw. Paw was the prompt, so I took a photo of my work colleague's little doggy, and I took a photo of my cat. So I drew those. Balloon was the prompt for this, so I tried to do something out of my imagination. And this one was swell. So at the moment our vegetables are growing, so I took a photo of courgette or zucchini growing in the garden, and you don't want them to swell so big that they turn into a marrow. This one was trinket, so I did a little picture of a Venetian glass clown. And then distance was this one, so I have a photo of Rangitoto in the distance. That's the volcanic island that I've drawn before. This one's floral, so I did a picture of some of my flowers in the vase. And then this one was crazy, so I have a thing about rocks and crazy rocks. So that one was made up, imaginary. This one is machine. We were at a concert and there was slushy machines, so that seemed like a good idea. And critters was the prompt for this one, so praying mantis are pretty cool critters. Snack. Well, my morning tea at Christmas, this one was the 26th of January, was a piece of Christmas cake and a cup of tea. Pretty good snack to me. And the prompt for this one is view. And we went away to a concert when I saw the slushy machines, and this was the view from our place we were staying in Tairua, a view towards the Pinnacles, which is in Coromandel in New Zealand. Then this one is undone, so I drew my USB charger, USB charging plug thingamajig for my cell phone. Then this one is trip, so that's a travel brochure. And that is the concert we were at, and so the prompt was loud, so that seemed appropriate. And then this one was yellow, was the prompt, so I drew the herbal tea packet because it was bright yellow. Then this one is flake, and yes, my favourite Mr. Whippy was a flake, the one with the ice cream with a flake in. And this one is stamp, so I have a massive collection of rubber stamps because card making is my other hobby, so I drew those. Then the prompt for this one is natural, so monarch butterfly coming out of its cocoon. Then comical, it's my cat. She likes to hide under a little stool and sleep in a cabinet, so that's pretty comical. Then this one is cozy. This is a picture of my woolen blanket and a cushion. It's cozy when you're feeling tired. And scent. That's my favourite perfume by Bottega Veneta. It's absolutely beautiful. Boot, which a lot of people drew boots that you wear on your feet, but I always like to try and think of something different when I can, so put the boot in my car. Then this one was crunch, so we've had a mass of cucumbers, and so I drew that. The prompt was entry, so I drew the sign that said no entry. And then this one is ancient, and ginkgo trees are ancient, been around for at least 270 million years, of course, according to fossils. I quite like those 2 pages. Hidden, so I drew a weta that was lurking in my garden. And this one is warm, so I have a herbal tea most nights, and so I drew that. And this one was clear, so I was trying to draw the light going through my crystal orb thing that I have in the window, but it wasn't very successful. And then this one is connection, so I drew tow bar and the trailer. And then lucky last, dusty, so I drew my feather duster. So, and then in most of my sketchbooks, this is my favourite quote: don't think about making art, just get it done. Let everyone else decide if it's good or bad, whether they love it or hate it. While they are deciding, make even more art. Andy Warhol. I just love that quote, and it's so true. So that's all. Thank you. Bye.